everyone, and welcome to the holiday edition of Sippin with Steven. And boy, are you all in for a treat this month. I've got two of my new friends from Doc Crow's, just a quality restaurant here in downtown Louisville, Doc Crow's Smokehouse and Raw Bar. They're going to talk about all the fun things they have at their restaurant and also their bourbon collection. And by way of introductions, I would first like to introduce Iliana Vega, who is one of the front office managers, or the front of the store managers at Doc Crow's, and also Jeremy Washko, who is also in the same capacity, but also an executive bourbon steward, and will be making our cocktail that we'll be doing a little bit later in Sipping with Steven tradition. You may wonder why we're going to have talk about a restaurant, but it is what we do is we reach out to our distillery partners and we talk about experiences on the bourbon trail. Well, one of the key aspects of that is food. And if you are staying in downtown Louisville and you know there are 6 distilleries within a 2-mile radius, what a better place to go than Doc Crow's, which is right down between 1st and 2nd Street on Main Street. And I'm going to have Iliana talk about what they have to offer with food and also about their fabulous bourbon room. Iliana?
Oh, yeah. So we are located in downtown Louisville, 127 West Main Street. In the heart of Whiskey Row, by the way.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is a little bit, it's where old distilleries used to keep their surplus of bourbons and whiskeys and send them out in the high river throughout the country. So we love being part of that area just because we got bourbon as well. But we main focus on a lot on barbecue, seafood. We have fresh raw oysters. We got po' boys. We got brisket. My personal favorite is probably the fried pork chops. It's heavy but delicious.
You're making me hungry. This is awesome.
I know, right?
The shrimp and grits are really good too.
The shrimp and grits is classic. So, and other Southern classics as well. But our main priority, we do enjoy bourbon. We are located in the prime area.
Sure.
So the convention center is right next to us, and so is the Yum Center.
Well, one thing I would like to tell our viewers is that whether you are a party of 2 or whether you're a larger group, Doc Crow's has the facilities and the wherewithal, if you contact them ahead of time, to service any and all type groups. So this is something, as my tour planners who are looking at this are looking, they can keep Doc Crow's in their rotation of potential places to enhance their visitors' bourbon trail experience. I got to brag real quick before we do our bourbon tasting, though, our cocktail. I walked in to their place and I knew how good the food was, but Iliana took me to their bourbon room, and I was blown away. It was like a library, 4 levels up with bottles, and expand on that for our folks.
So we do like to call it a little library. It has over 2,400 bottles with whiskeys, bourbons, and a few scotches in there. And we love every variety of bourbons you can think of. Especially we have some of our own barrel picks that we have.
Love barrel picks. Best thing. So you're telling me you could go and get some authentic Southern cooking.
Absolutely.
From barbecue to seafood to po' boys, and have a cocktail that along the line that Jeremy's going to make, or something neat, but you have just a pretty wide selection, pretty much anything you want to have.
Yeah, and our bartenders, we encourage them to make their own cocktails because we want to do something different. We don't want the same recipe from other restaurants. So we encourage creativity within us, which we will see in a little bit.
Terrific. Well, that's the thing that I want to make sure the people, whether they're just locals that are traveling on the bourbon trail or groups coming in, that they realize there's a hidden gem on Main Street, right between Old Forester and the 3 distilleries, that part on the eastern part of downtown, but just a few blocks away from Peerless and Evan Williams and Michter. So truly, it makes that experience come full circle. The next thing that we're going to do, and I'm going to have Jeremy talk about the drink. I haven't mentioned the name of it yet because it is so cool. It's very holiday thematic, and I want him to tell you all about it and walk you through. So, Jeremy, tell the folks what you're going to concoct here.
So today we're going to be making Rudolph the Red-Nosed Rye Deer. I decided to take some of the classic herbaceous notes that you get from a rye and mix that with some other holiday seasonal spices. So first off, we're starting off with 1.5 ounces of our barrel pick of Knob Creek rye, actually.
Nice.
We also have several other barrel picks available from Limestone Distillery. We've got some from New Riff, all over the place actually. Putting in 1/2 ounce of Demerara syrup. We're going to put 3 pretty heavy drops of smoked vanilla bitters.
Oh, I'm getting giddy with anticipation, Jeremy. This is awesome.
So Frangelico, traditionally most people know that it has hazelnut. It's a hazelnut
Right.
liqueur, but it also has a lot of hidden spices and herbs that they mix with it when they're making it. So the rye brings out those, like I said, herbaceous notes that you wouldn't typically find.
Well, what I would tell you, one of the things we pride ourselves at Sippin' with Steven are drinks that are fairly basic and easy for our viewers to make. And I think that falls right in line here along with the holiday season. So if those are the ingredients, you do that magic that you do, and then we will have a nice toast to Doc Crow's and the Fraser and the Bourbon Trail.
Absolutely. The last part was the 1/2 ounce of sweet vermouth, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we love holiday cocktails. We try to do seasonal ones as well. So every now and then we do change our cocktails. So maybe if you come in the summer, you see something a little different.
I have a feeling that you need to check it out on a fairly regular basis. There's something that's going on, a lot of creativity with cocktails. That is fabulous. That's stuff that our customers are always looking for on the Bourbon Trail. So here we're giving them a peek inside a hidden gem.
Right.
Don't forget as well that we do offer private tastings. Keep in mind the over 2,400 bottles we have to choose from. So we do have another executive bourbon steward in-house as well. So the odds of getting a intimate private tasting are very high. You can also schedule one with either one of us.
That's great, Jeremy. But now that you're the official bourbon steward of Sippin' with Steven. So anybody coming down to Doc Crow's needs to look you up first because you've got the credibility. So now, if we've got a drink for everyone, first off, I want to thank my guests for coming down and spreading the word and sharing not all, but a lot of what's going on at Doc Crow's, and encourage everybody who's watching, especially if you're local, but if you're coming into Louisville for the Bourbon Trail, please factor in some time to either have a cocktail or ideally have a meal and a cocktail at Doc Crow's. See Jeremy, see Iliana, and let them show you their hospitality and what Doc Crow's has to offer. In the meantime, we will all take a cocktail and we are going to celebrate for the holidays. We're going to toast. Wish all the Sippin' with Steven folks have a great day and a great holiday season. To Doc Crow's, to the Fraser, and to the Bourbon Trail.
Thank you, Steven.
Cheers.
Salute.
Thank you so
Happy
much.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Rudolph, you've never been so good. Your nose so bright, right in the middle.
Magic nose.
Right in there. Thank you, folks. Merry Christmas to everybody out in Sippin' with Steven land.